For this charity concert. My name is Miriam. I'm Miriam Levenson. I moved to Israel from London about 8 years ago, and I play the bassoon with the Israel Sinfonietta in Beersheba, which is where I met Arielle.
So good evening, thank you for coming everybody. So my name is Arielle Adler, playing the violin since the age of 6. Left playing the violin as a professional violinist, recently picked it up and left it again, so I'm working in high tech, unfortunately. Well, fortunately and unfortunately. But very happy to have met Miriam in the orchestra and playing together. Before we go on, I just want to remind you if you can mute your phones, just to make sure that you need them.
So you just heard the first movement of the Bach double violin concerto. Even though there is only one violin in the room at the moment, we played the Bach double violin concerto in an arrangement by Cicely Parnas for violin and cello, and then slightly arranged it again for bassoon so that I could breathe every now and then. And it's a treat for me to be able to play string classics like this. We're now going to go on and play the second movement, which is very different from the first. It's slower. And one of the joys of playing music like this, not orchestral music, is that you really have a dialogue going between the two instruments. And especially in music like Bach, which is Baroque music, where instead of having a melody normally on the violins and an accompaniment normally on the bassoon, you have two equal parts that are dovetailing each other, copying each other, and reacting to each other all the time. And you hear that especially in the slow movement as well. So enjoy.
So as Miriam already mentioned before, what we just played was written for two violins, and actually the entire repertoire which we will be playing tonight none of that is originally composed for bassoon and for a violin. So everything are arrangements. Most of the music that we're playing has been written or arranged already for violin and cello. And it makes it extra challenging to find the right balance. And the next piece we're going to be playing is from Beethoven, who was a German composer, pianist, and he's considered as one of the greatest composers of the classical and romantic periods. In his late 20s, he began to lose his hearing, but continued to produce masterpieces even after having become completely deaf. Unusual for his time, he worked as a freelance composer. He organized concerts and was supported by several wealthy patrons. And this lifestyle made it possible for him to hide his disability of becoming deaf. Now we will play the first movement of the duo he composed for violin and cello, which is has a happy atmosphere. Allegro.
Next up we have a piece by a composer called Fiala, who I didn't know until we were looking for music to play tonight in the concert. We stumbled across Duo Concertante that he wrote for oboe and bassoon, so that works. So this time Arielle gets to have a go being a wind player, instead of me having a go being a string player. Fiala was a Czech composer. He was a classical composer. He knew Mozart in Salzburg. Mozart helped him to get his first job. And then he moved on to Vienna, St. Petersburg, and then finished his life in Germany. And we are going to play the Adagio, which means slow, which is the second movement of the Duo Concertante in F major. Without stopping.
Okay, the next piece we will be playing is from Niccolo Paganini, the worst nightmare for every violinist.
That's my idea.
That's right. So everybody who wants to play Paganini is thinking about how they survive it without breaking their fingers. But he was an Italian violinist and composer, and he was actually the most celebrated violin virtuoso of his time. He lived from 1782 to 1814. And he's actually the one who marks the pillars of the modern violin technique. For example, the most famous of his works are the 24 Capricci for violin solo, which some of you might know. Anyway, his work has served as inspiration for many other prominent composers. And we will be playing from his 3 duetti sconcertanti. Actually the second movement, which is a rondo, which is a dance. And I hope you will enjoy. And actually it was, before we play, this was originally written for violin and cello.
Before we finish with our final selection of pieces, I just wanted to thank you especially for donating your tickets tonight to a charity called Missila. And thank you to the Goldberg family who booked the room for us, so that every penny of your tickets can go straight to the charity that we're sponsoring tonight. Small words about them. Missila is funded by the Tel Aviv-Yafo area, and they work in South Tel Aviv, and they support the families of asylum seekers and migrant workers in many ways. Many of them have survived human trafficking and looking for a better life and trying to build a present as well as a future. And all of the money that we're raising tonight is going to their food bank, which feeds 883 families, which is over 2,000 people, most of them are children. And the food is grabbed off the shelves as soon as it gets there. So thank you for helping to fill the shelves again. And I'll send an update. So I think we'll be hoping to raise about 2,000 shekels tonight with your help. So thank you very, very much.
So we will be ending with 3 pieces. We'll be playing one after another from an American composer called Jeremy Cohen. And guess what his background is, right? So he was born in 1957 in California. He's a member of a family of 5 musicians. He's a classical trained violin composer, and he studied with Itzhak Perlman. Now we will play 3 out of 8 of his short duets that he created, and they're all different styles. So the first one is called Bachia Norteño, which if it's is that the first one we play?
Yeah, that's
Okay, that's the first one we'll play. Which translated from Brazilian is Little Cry, but that's not really correct if you listen to the music. It has a real happy and bright feeling to it. And originally the choro it's a choro, and it was played by a trio of flute, guitar, and, I hope I said it correct, cavaquinho, which is like a small guitar. Once we finish the Bachia Norteño, then we will go on to the Rumpus Room. And Jeremy Cohen writes about that it associates him to his childhood, where he had like a playing room, which his parents called Rumpus Room, and he together with his 2 older brothers could make as much noise in there and play there without bothering his parents. And you will hear in the rhythmic the trampoline that he's trying to simulate in there. And we'll end with a tango, which was inspired by his work together with Argentinian musicians. Have a great week.
Please.
And Chag Sameach.